Late-night television is supposed to be a polished world of witty anecdotes and seamless promotion. But every now and then, a guest walks on set and creates a moment so raw, so unpredictable, or so bizarre that the script becomes useless. It's not always a fight or a wardrobe malfunction. Sometimes it's an uncomfortable question, a shocking confession, or an outfit that completely steals the show. These are the moments that make you lean in, the ones you can't stop watching, and we've gathered the very best of them. Get ready, because these are the times when celebrities make it hard to look away. This moment of on-air awkwardness comes from a 2016 episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and features former Playboy model Sarah McDaniel. The interview became uncomfortable almost immediately due to McDaniel's tricky tube dress, which she had to constantly adjust throughout the segment. The situation escalated when Colbert began commenting on her dress, at one point offering her duct tape to fix it, when late-night participants made it hard to look away. The most cringeworthy moment came during a planned selfie segment. As McDaniel leaned in for the photo, she again pulled away to cover herself. Colbert, in an attempt to handle the situation with humor, grabbed a piece of paper and held it up to cover her chest, which made the audience laugh but clearly added to the tension. Years later, McDaniel would describe the entire experience as the worst moment of my life, while fans remained divided on whether Colbert was being helpful or inappropriate. Actress Eva Longoria's appearance on The Late Show created a moment of pure on-air panic. She wore a daring navy tuxedo blazer with nothing underneath, held together by a single stressed button. As she gestured during a story, that button gave way, causing the blazer to fall open. Her face froze in a split second of shock before she grabbed the jacket closed, trying to laugh off the mishap. A stunned David Letterman was left completely flustered, stumbling over his words before dryly joking, "We're going to lose our liquor license, I know it." This on-air moment comes from an interview on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and features actress Hali Berry. She appeared on the show wearing a vibrant purple dress with a plunging neckline that immediately captured the host's attention. Throughout the interview, Leno kept glancing at her dress, making the audience laugh. At one point, he told her, "I like this dress better," comparing it to a previous outfit. Berry, always playful, laughed and replied that wearing the dress feels like wearing a Ferrari. The running joke continued until Leno finally said what everyone was thinking, interrupting the conversation to tell her, "Actually, you're falling out of your dress." Berry handled the entire exchange with humor, keeping the conversation light despite the host's clear distraction.
I'm enjoying.
This on-air moment comes from an interview with Conan and features actress Emma Stone. While wearing a short dress for appearance, she spent much of the interview trying to keep it in place, constantly fixing it and shifting in her seat. The awkwardness was visible as she tried to sit properly while also laughing at the host's jokes. At one point, Conan O'Brien started to talk about her new movie, which made Stone give a surprised look before quickly touching her dress near her lap and adjusting her position. As he joked about her character in the film, she smiled while once again fixing the dress, eventually crossing her legs to stay more comfortable. The entire interview was a subtle but constant struggle between the conversation and her uncooperative outfit. This was more than just a shocking television moment. It was a deliberate upending of the entire late-night talk show dynamic. In 1995, the power on that stage was supposed to belong to the host, David Letterman, a titan of television who controlled the conversation. But when a 20-year-old Drew Barrymore, representing a new, rebellious generation of Hollywood, climbed onto his desk, she wasn't just being wild, she was taking control. The dance and the flash were her way of completely flipping the script. For that 1 minute, it was her show, her terms, and her energy that dominated the room. Letterman's genuinely stunned, flustered reaction wasn't just funny, it was the visible proof that his power as the host had been completely and playfully usurped. It was a raw, unpredictable act that redefined what was possible in a live interview, proving that sometimes the most memorable television happens when the guest decides to tear up the cue cards. This unforgettable moment happened on The Ellen DeGeneres Show and featured actress Jennifer Love Hewitt. She appeared on the show with co-host Matthew Perry, wearing a bold dress with a very deep neckline that immediately became the center of attention. As soon as she sat down, Ellen joked, "Were you just sewing your dress when you run out of time?" Hewitt laughed, explaining it was the design of the dress, but admitted it was a little wower. The playful teasing continued when Matthew Perry chimed in, joking that this might be his favorite day ever and that he would have to overcompensate by looking 5T above the head to avoid staring. Hewitt handled the entire situation with humor, keeping the mood light even as her outfit completely stole the focus of the interview. This moment from Jimmy Kimmel Live features superstar Jennifer Lopez, who made it hard to look away for all the right reasons. From the second she walked on stage, her commanding presence and stunning outfit completely owned the room, leaving the host and the audience captivated. While the conversation was friendly, her star power was the real spectacle. She shared incredible stories, from getting career advice from her idol, Barbra Streisand, to the surreal experience of having other A-list stars like Brie Larson be starstruck by her. The interview is a perfect example of a celebrity so charismatic and engaging that every word and every gesture becomes a captivating event in itself, proving that sometimes you can't look away simply because you're in the presence of a true superstar. This clip from The Tonight Show perfectly captures a moment where the intended segment gets completely derailed by pure, unscripted awkwardness. The guest was supermodel Gisele Bündchen, who was on to promote her campaign with Under Armour and teach host Jimmy Fallon a few yoga moves. The plan was for a simple plank exercise, but from the moment they got into position, the energy shifted. As she instructed him on the proper form, Bündchen quickly checked her top, asking, "Is there anything showing over here?" A visibly flustered Jimmy Fallon quickly looked away, laughing nervously and reassuring her he wouldn't look. The playful tension continued as he confessed he was worried his wife would be mad, eventually admitting, "Okay, so I looked a little bit." The whole exercise segment was less about fitness and more about Fallon's hilarious struggle to keep his focus, turning a simple workout demonstration into a cringeworthy and unforgettable late-night moment. This on-air stunt from a 2019 episode of Conan was less about the game and more about the spellbinding presence of Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner. From the moment the interview began, host Conan O'Brien seemed completely captivated by his guest. The interview took a wild turn when she introduced a chaotic drinking game she played with her co-stars called Tequila Slaps. The rules were simple. Conan had to take a shot of tequila, and before he could swallow, she would slap him across the face. Seemingly unable to refuse her anything, Conan agreed, asking, "Is this an actual thing, or did you just invent an excuse to slap people?" As she delivered a solid slap, the host was left stunned, not just by the impact, but by the sheer audacity of his guest, from whom he seemingly couldn't look away. His breathless reaction, "That was a fantastic slap," said it all. It was a moment of television where the host was completely under his guest's spell. Lady Gaga's 2013 performance on Saturday Night Live with R. Kelly was a masterclass in hijacking the audience's attention. This wasn't just a musical guest performing a song. It was a deliberately provocative act designed to shatter the comfort zone of a late-night comedy show. The choreography was less about dancing and more about a raw physical interaction that simulated intimacy and dominance. What made it so impossible to ignore was the sheer audacity of it all, unfolding on a stage typically reserved for sketches and parody. It was a calculated piece of performance art that forced everyone watching to confront what they were seeing, leaving the audience buzzing and unsettled long after the music stopped. This red carpet moment from the 2024 Met Gala features supermodel Emily Ratakowski and interviewer Emma Chamberlain, but it stands out for its complete lack of awkwardness. Ratakowski arrived in a stunning, very naked vintage Versace gown that was all about the open back. Chamberlain playfully described it as business in the front, party in the back, to which Ratakowski happily agreed. The entire exchange was a perfect example of a successful red carpet interview. It was quick, fun, and focused entirely on fashion. It was a brief, charming interaction that was hard to look away from simply because of how effortlessly cool both women were. The Mean Tweet segment on Jimmy Kimmel Live is always a high-risk game of comedic chicken. But in 2014, guest Sophia Vgara proved she was the undisputed master of it. The premise was simple. She and the host would read deeply insulting internet comments about each other. The moment could have turned genuinely sour when Kimmel read an incredibly vulgar and offensive comment questioning, "Has anyone checked for a penis?" She gasped in mock outrage. Instead of being flustered, Vergara instantly turned the tables. Without a second of hesitation, she gave the host a playful slap and fired back with a devastatingly sharp comeback, "For sure bigger than yours." She didn't just deflect the insult, she completely owned it, turning a crude comment into a triumphant punchline that left Kimmel stunned and the audience roaring for her victory. This 1998 interview between Jennifer Aniston and David Letterman is a masterclass in cringeworthy television, standing out as a moment that went beyond awkward humor into something genuinely bizarre. The conversation derailed when the host became fixated on Aniston's appearance, culminating in an act that still feels unbelievable today. After moving his chair unnervingly close behind her, Letterman abruptly grabbed a lock of her hair and put it in his mouth. Aniston's visibly shocked and disgusted reaction was immediate as she tried to process the strange violation of personal space on live television. It was a deeply uncomfortable moment that left the audience and the actress herself stunned, cementing its legacy as one of late night's most unsettling encounters. This interview from Late Night with Conan O'Brien features actress Hali Berry, but it's a departure from the awkward or chaotic moments we've been focused on. Instead, this clip is pure charm and playful flirtation, making it hard to look away for entirely different reasons. The conversation is light and fun, with Berry sharing a funny story about losing a gold tooth from her BAPS costume while eating a sandwich. The interview takes a humorous turn when the topic shifts to tabloid rumors about her dating life. After listing off a number of false pairings, she playfully declares her romantic interest in Conan himself. She jokes that his green milk mustache from an old advertisement made her realize he was the one for her. The segment continues with the two of them engaging in witty banter, with Berry even joking about them having a love child. The entire interview is a masterclass in celebrity charm, proving that sometimes a moment is captivating simply because it's so genuinely fun and entertaining. This legendary moment from Saturday Night Live features musical guest Cher, who created a look so iconic it's still talked about today. The performance was for her hit song, "If I Could Turn Back Time," and her outfit became just as famous as the song itself. She took the stage in a black leather jacket and a sheer, sparkling bodysuit that was incredibly revealing, especially for the television standards of the time. The daring outfit, combined with her powerful stage presence, created a spectacle that was impossible to look away from. It was a classic case of an artist pushing the boundaries and creating a moment that was equal parts rock and roll rebellion and pure star power. The performance is a perfect example of how a bold fashion choice can elevate a musical performance into an unforgettable cultural moment. From daring dresses that stopped the show to bizarre stories and awkward encounters that left everyone speechless, these are the moments that make live television so unforgettable. They're the unscripted glimpses that prove even the biggest stars are unpredictably human. Which moment was the hardest for you to look away from? Let us know your pick in the comments below. And if you want more moments of on-air chaos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.